In Rhode Island, the villagers are presenting their beloved Chef Edward with a cart full of flour. In return, he gives the mayor a blueberry pie as a token of gratitude. That pie is Edward's signature creation, so everyone dreams of tasting it at least once in their lifetime. Afterward, he returns home to continue his work, but suddenly a red ghost appears, startling him so badly that he falls. Strange events begin to happen one after another, leaving Edward completely terrified. He's dragged into the house, screaming the words "Red Ghost" again and again. Back in the present, Mystery Inc. is on their way to Rocky Harbor Culinary Resort. The place is owned by Fred's Uncle Bobby. The resort has been abandoned ever since its previous owner Chef Edward mysteriously disappeared, but Scooby-Doo doesn't care much. He's already found something to eat. When Mystery Inc. finally arrives at Rocky Harbor, they are warmly welcomed by Uncle Bobby, a world-famous chef, which makes Scooby-Doo and Shaggy thrilled to try his food. Uncle Bobby keeps introducing his menu with great enthusiasm, overwhelming Scooby-Doo so much that he faints. The gang has no choice but to use food to wake him up. To their surprise, the lobster dish they used actually belongs to Bobby's cat Nacho. After that, Uncle Bobby gives them a quick tour of the Rocky Harbor Culinary Resort. There they learn that Chef Edward was not only the former owner but also one of Fred's ancestors. However, no one has ever found any clue about his disappearance. Meanwhile, Scooby-Doo, still searching for more food, accidentally gets himself stuck, forcing Nacho to rescue him. Then the cat leads Scooby-Doo to the kitchen, unaware that both of them are being watched. On the other side, Uncle Bobby explains to the gang why the place is called a culinary resort. It's a gathering spot for talented chefs. Assisted by an interactive computer program called Rocky, guests can also experiment with their own recipes or learn skills from top chefs. However, Chef Taylor has been exhausted from sleepless nights ever since the Red Ghost appeared. The moment Uncle Bobby hears the words "Red Ghost," he hurriedly pulls the gang away. When Daphne asks what's going on, he avoids the question and distracts them by talking about cooking instead. Later that night, everyone gathers for dinner prepared by the world-famous chef himself. Uncle Bobby is amazed by how much Scooby-Doo and Shaggy can eat. Suddenly, a man appears and asks who the newcomers are. Bobby quickly introduces him as Jeremiah the groundskeeper. Jeremiah was once fired for badmouthing Chef Edward, but Bobby rehired him out of old friendship. Jeremiah warns Bobby that he's been cursed by the Red Ghost, then leaves, leaving Mystery Inc. both puzzled and uneasy. Bobby laughs it off, saying it's just a silly rumor the villagers like to tell each other. But the gang, clearly intrigued, persuades him to tell them everything he knows. In 1970, when Chef Edward suddenly disappears, people can only hear his terrified screams calling for help from the Red Ghost again and again. As a result, his house is left abandoned until Uncle Bobby reopens it. However, the rumor continues to spread even to this day. Although no one has ever seen the ghost with their own eyes, they still believe it's real. As for Uncle Bobby, he only trusts what he can see himself. While everyone is talking, none of them realize that the Red Ghost is right behind them. Suddenly, rain begins to pour, so Uncle Bobby suggests that everyone should go inside. But Scooby-Doo and Shaggy sense that something is wrong, so they run ahead. Velma is surprised because there's actually a day when those two forget about food. Scooby-Doo and Shaggy say they hear whispering sounds from the Red Ghost, but Velma thinks it's just the thunder and wishes them both good night. Later that night, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy are too hungry to sleep, so they sneak out to find something to eat. They don't know that the Red Ghost is silently following them. It keeps appearing and disappearing, whispering softly, which makes Shaggy think that the sound comes from Scooby-Doo. Then the two finally find the kitchen, where they see Nacho making a fish sandwich. Scooby-Doo and Shaggy shamelessly ask for a bite, and Nacho just sighs and kindly invites his two friends to share the meal. Meanwhile, the Red Ghost continues watching Scooby-Doo and Shaggy from the shadows. The next day, Uncle Bobby invites Mystery Inc. to join the Chef Arena, a live cooking competition broadcast on television to promote the Rocky Harbor Culinary Resort. Scooby-Doo and Shaggy are thrilled but also curious about who their instructor will be, when suddenly Sue appears. She's hot-tempered and easily angered at almost everything, known for being a very strict chef. Seeing how intimidating she is, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy try to come up with an excuse to escape, but she catches them before they can get away. Meanwhile, a female host is introducing the Rocky Harbor Culinary Resort on live TV. She talks about a Revolutionary War hero, Chef Edward, but the groundskeeper Jeremiah interrupts, saying it's all a lie. There's no hero, only a traitor, he says. On the other hand, Chef Taylor is starting to lose his mind. Tormented by the constant whispering of the Red Ghost, a man suddenly shows up at the resort, measuring everything around the property. Uncle Bobby quickly greets him and learns that he's a real estate broker. "I see you're sitting on a gold mine, Bobby. It seems he wants to buy the land, but Uncle Bobby politely refuses by handing him a room key to send him off to rest instead. Just then Daphne rushes in, saying something bad has happened in the arena. It turns out that Miss Sue is having an argument with Scooby-Doo and Shaggy while they're cooking. Uncle Bobby has no choice but to calm her down and lead her away before things get worse. As soon as Sue leaves, Velma realizes that the author of the book of Chef Edward is Mr. Henry, the man who has helped Uncle Bobby restore the place. However, Mr. Henry doesn't look happy when he sees Jeremiah claiming that Chef Edward is a traitor. Then he hands Uncle Bobby a set of old documents and explains that during the American Revolutionary War, Chef Edward was an unsung hero. He opened an inn and welcomed soldiers from many different countries. Not only American troops but also French colonial and British soldiers. But when Uncle Bobby opens the documents, he finds the pages completely blank. The parchment paper that Chef Edward used during the war has nothing written on it. Mr. Henry only knows that Edward used that kind of parchment to wrap food. After returning the documents, he excuses himself, saying he has personal matters to attend to. In the evening, reporters quickly arrive at the Rocky Harbor Culinary Resort, where a grand cooking show is about to take place. Chef Giada introduces the venue, explaining that it's fully equipped with modern appliances to support every kind of culinary challenge. Soon after, the show begins smoothly. With the help of the interactive computer program Rocky, everything seems to be running perfectly, but suddenly the lights start flickering on and off, making everyone uneasy. The electronic devices lose control, and within moments the entire resort plunges into darkness. Then right in the middle of the chaos, the red ghost appears, sending the crowd into panic. While it hovers in the air, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy faint from fright. Everyone immediately flees the cooking show in terror. To make matters worse, the interactive computer program Rocky also malfunctions and starts smashing everything around. Guests rush to their cars to escape, leaving the staff completely confused about what to do. Meanwhile, the red ghost approaches Mystery Inc., but its eerie whispering annoys Velma so much that she grabs a fire extinguisher and sprays it to chase the ghost away. By the time the red ghost vanishes, the entire cooking show is in ruins, leaving Uncle Bobby no choice but to sigh helplessly. The news media quickly report the ghost's appearance, staining the Rocky Harbor Culinary Resort's reputation with bad press. Realizing this could be a mysterious case, Velma suggests that they should investigate. But before anyone can start, the interactive computer program Rocky loses control again, causing more damage and forcing MC Giada to protect everyone, with Nacho stepping in to help her. Uncle Bobby, having no other option, shuts down the main power switch to stop the system. Velma wonders why the electronic devices suddenly went haywire, while Giada believes the red ghost might be the cause. Superstitious by nature, Giada even wears garlic around her neck for protection. Besides finding the red ghost, everyone also needs to search for Giada's missing cat Bella. Fred quickly assigns tasks. He, Velma, and Daphne will search outside, while the others will check inside. Chef Taylor is left at the reception desk to answer phone calls. Later, Shaggy, Scooby-Doo, Uncle Bobby, and Giada are searching through the hallway when the lights begin to flicker again. At the same time, Chef Taylor is answering the phone when the real estate broker Bradley suddenly appears. He asks where Chef Bobby is, but when he doesn't get an answer, he walks straight into the kitchen. Outside, Fred, Velma, and Daphne run into Sue, who complains that no one is manning the reception desk and the phone won't stop ringing. She insists on taking Fred with her, leaving Velma and Daphne to continue searching on their own. While looking around, Velma accidentally drops her glasses, and Daphne, as she helps to search, notices a cable running from inside Jeremiah's small cabin, which immediately raises her suspicion. Meanwhile, Shaggy, Scooby-Doo, Uncle Bobby, and Giada are searching in the library. Scooby-Doo and Shaggy joke that if they can just pull the right book on the shelf, a secret passage might open. Back at the reception, since Taylor is nowhere to be found, Fred reluctantly takes his place. He's answering the phone when Bradley appears again, saying he has a delivery arriving soon and wants Fred to bring it to his room. When Fred asks if he's seen Chef Taylor anywhere, Bradley pretends not to know. At the same time, Velma and Daphne question Jeremiah about the cable. He explains that it supplies electricity to the Rocky Harbor Culinary Resort, but admits he still doesn't really understand how to use all the modern equipment. Meanwhile, Shaggy, Scooby-Doo, Uncle Bobby, and Aunt Giada are searching when Bobby suddenly notices his phone flickering. They think the red ghost might be nearby, and just then Nacho discovers a secret passage. The moment Scooby-Doo shines his flashlight down, the red ghost appears. Although Shaggy and Uncle Bobby try to trap it, their strength alone isn't enough, so everyone has no choice but to run. They rush into a room and find Fred in a maintenance suit. He explains he's wearing it because there are many things that need fixing around here, curious about what everyone's running from. Fred opens the door and sees Taylor. Later, everyone gathers in the main hall to rest. While eating cookies, Velma and Daphne realize that Uncle Bobby used Chef Edward's parchment paper as a liner. That's when Velma remembers that during the Revolutionary War, spies used such parchment to write secret messages in invisible ink made from dried citrus juice. When the paper is heated, the orange oxidizes and turns brown. As everyone examines Chef Edward's documents, Scooby-Doo suddenly spots the red ghost. It steals the papers and threatens Scooby-Doo not to make a sound. Meanwhile, Velma realizes the documents contain detailed information about the movements of the American army. Chef Edward was actually a spy who leaked information to the British, making him a traitor just as Jeremiah the maid had said. When they notice the documents are missing, Scooby-Doo pushes aside his fear to tell them that the red ghost stole them, following its footprints left in the powder. Everyone figures out where it went, but ghosts don't have footprints, so Velma knows it must be a human in disguise. They follow the trail and spot the red ghost ahead, but while escaping it accidentally drops the documents. Shaggy and Scooby-Doo volunteer to stay in the kitchen to keep watch in case it returns. But of course their real goal is food. They've just finished making 2 sandwiches when the red ghost appears outside. Their screams echo through the building, reaching the others. The red ghost keeps slamming its head against the window before flying away, yet the whispering still lingers outside. When Uncle Bobby opens the door, they see a drone delivering a package. Everyone exhales in relief. It's just an order from Broker Bradley. He says it contains a court notice forcing Uncle Bobby to close the resort immediately because it's a historical site that will undergo a long and costly preservation process. Bradley then offers to buy it for a good price. Uncle Bobby is still unsure what to do when the red ghost suddenly appears again. A strange twist indeed, because usually the Mystery Inc. gang is chased by ghosts, but this time they're the ones chasing it. Times have surely changed, but not for long, as the situation quickly reverses. With no other choice, everyone splits up to distract the red ghost. They keep running through the maze, making it lose track of who to chase, until it corners them all. Just as it's about to strike, Bella appears in time. Uncle Bobby still thinks the red ghost is real, but Velma says it's not. It's just a drone. The hissing sounds were from its propellers, and someone must be controlling it via Wi-Fi. Velma then asks Jeremiah to cut the circuit breaker, revealing that the drone had a small electromagnet attached, which caused nearby electronic devices to malfunction. But the drone couldn't have left any footprints in the main hall, so Fred immediately concludes that it's the culprit, and he already has a plan to catch whoever's behind it. Everyone quickly gets to work and decides to reorganize the culinary event. Fred tells the reporters that he will reveal shocking news about the heroic Chef Edward, and even assures them that everyone will be safe because he'll personally deal with the red ghost. Meanwhile, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy are learning to cook, but end up losing to the 2 cats. Soon the culinary show is back on again, and everything goes smoothly. But now it's time for everyone to finally learn the truth about Chef Edward. Just as Velma takes out the documents, the lights start flickering. Fred realizes that someone doesn't want this truth to be revealed tonight. The red ghost suddenly appears and rushes in to grab the papers, but this time things are different. The Mystery Inc. gang has already set up traps everywhere. Within moments, the red ghost is knocked down and rendered unconscious. Everyone quickly restrains it and pulls off the mask, revealing that the one controlling the drone all along is Bradley. He wanted to buy the resort for a cheap price without damaging Chef Edward's reputation, but the name Bradley doesn't appear in any real estate records, which means it's just another disguise. The real culprit turns out to be Henry. He had devoted his entire career to telling the story of Chef Edward as a hero, but when he discovered the truth, he couldn't accept it. Henry had long known that Chef Edward was labeled a traitor and wanted to bury that truth forever. When he heard that Edward's descendant Uncle Bobby was restoring the resort, he tried to make him believe in the legend of the red ghost to scare him off and keep the secret hidden for good. But what Henry didn't know is that the documents contain information related to the American Revolutionary War. By studying historical records, Velma finds out exactly where General Washington's troops were stationed and how they moved at the time it was written. Yet those weren't the same details Chef Edward published in the papers. The transmitted information was false. Chef Edward wasn't working for the British. He was loyal to General Washington, feeding the enemy fake intelligence to protect his army. Henry is left speechless, realizing that all his efforts and schemes meant nothing. Uncle Bobby sincerely thanks Mystery Inc. for helping him uncover the truth, and Lady Giada gifts everyone a basket full of food. As the team drives away, Shaggy wonders aloud if the red ghost wasn't real. Then what exactly did Chef Edward shout before disappearing? He was discovered and taken by the British soldiers. He didn't yell red ghost but red coats, warning that the British were coming.